We have now opened up the Brocade Fabric OS Maps Rules and Reference Manual Excel file for 10.x. This file is meant to be used in conjunction with the Maps User Guide. We are currently on the first tab, the README tab, which is highlighted below. Essentially, this provides a description of the four main data tabs to the right. We're going to walk through those four main data tabs in this short presentation. But before we get to them, we also want to highlight to the right-hand side of the Maps User README page. Essentially, there is a description for all of the headers that you're going to find on the data tabs. So with that, let's move to the first tab and take a look at the Monitoring System Matrix tab. We are now on the Monitoring System Matrix tab, and my suggestion is to go to the Data header, and this column, this left-hand column, has all of the monitors that you would use to create a custom rule, and all of the other columns are based upon this particular column. So what we're going to do is we're going to filter and just look at CRCs. I suggest you select number 2 as far as index value, and then select filter. And this is for all of the columns across, no matter which one you want to filter from. Select the down arrow, and here are listing out all of the different monitors that are available. I'm going to type in CRC, remove the GigE CRC, and then select OK. And now we have 2 monitors that are showing. We're going to focus on the top one. Essentially, this is CRCs for ports. If you look at the next column, the type is port. This is for your group type. So if you want to see all of the default groups available, you can go to the Default Maps Group tab. And what you're going to see is all of the default groups that are available. You can see the ones that are available for port, for the port type, such as all E ports, all FC ports, and all F ports. So basically, you could select one of those for your custom rule if you wanted to use a default group. Now we're going back to the main area, to the System Matrix tab. You can see that from a custom rule perspective, it's supported. It says true. Logical fabrics, yes. And what we're going to do is scroll over, and what we're going to see is that this is a threshold-based monitoring type. Later we'll take a look at state-based. You can see that it needs unsigned integer there, and you have a minimum and maximum value, and here are the logical operators that are supported, greater than, equal to as well, and the severity level. And then as we move to the right, you can see the minimum quiet time that's available, and the time base. In this case, it's minutes, hours, and days. And then as we move along, you can see all the actions that are available for CRCs. Anything that's true, raslog, SNMP, and so forth. And as we continue to move over, you can see rule on rule, if it's supported or not. We're going to move back here in a second. And then all the actions that are available for rule on rule actions for CRCs. And then we continue to move over. We have our raslog ID and the platforms that that monitor is supported on. Now as we move back, I'm going to remove the filter that we had in place, and then I'm going to select it again, because basically we're going to move to the monitoring type, and we're going to change it from threshold based to take a look at an example of a state based monitor. So if we scroll back over to the left, you can see that dev latency impact is a state-based monitor, and so you can go to the state severity tab, which is next to the monitoring tab, and you can see the 3 states that are supported for dev latency impact. The last tab that we have to look at is the Default Maps Rules tab. This contains all of the different rules for a particular release for all of the default policies. It has all the different parameters for each rule. So for the aggressive, moderate, conservative, and always active policies. So let's go in and let's do some filtering again. Select number 2, hit the filter button. We're going to go over to the monitors and we're going to search again for CRC and limit our rules to CRC. Unremove GRCRC. Now there are some more advanced ways. I want to add another monitoring type in there. You could go do a custom filter, but what we're going to do is just do it again here and search. It's just as easy. We're going to search for dev latency impact from our monitors. So then the only rules that are going to be shown are the rules that contain, or for the monitoring type, CRC and dev latency impact for all of our policies, but we can even refine our search even more and look just at the rules associated with the moderate policy, and I've just done that there. And so now we have all the rules associated for dev latency impact and CRC for within the moderate policy. And as I scroll here to the right, you can see all the different parameters for that particular rule. Now we're going to close showing you where to find the file. If you look within the latest Brocade Fabric OS Maps user guide, you will find, if you search for Maps Rules Reference Manual, you will find several links within this document. What you just have to do is select the link and then download it. This is the end of our short demonstration. Thank you for listening.